My precious child, stop scrolling right now. I need to tell you something that cannot wait another second. At this exact moment, while you're reading these words, there is an angel standing behind you with a message so urgent, so life-changing, that heaven itself refused to let you pass by this video. You were not supposed to see this by accident. This is your divine appointment. My dear child, something extraordinary is unfolding in your life right at this very moment, and what I'm about to share with you will change everything you thought you knew about your future. Heaven itself has turned its complete attention toward you right now. The angels are positioned, the blessings are released, the miracles are in motion. This is not just another message you happen to find while scrolling through videos. No, this is a divine appointment that was scheduled before you even woke up this morning. You were guided here, led here, brought to this exact moment by forces you cannot see, but can certainly feel deep in your spirit. Your name has been spoken with such tenderness and power in the highest courts of heaven that if you could have heard it, you would have fallen to your knees in gratitude. The Creator of all things, the one who formed you in your mother's womb, the one who knows every hair on your head and every thought in your mind, has personally assigned blessings to flow into your life like a mighty river that cannot be stopped, cannot be blocked, and cannot be turned back by any force in existence. These are not small blessings I'm talking about. These are not ordinary favors or minor improvements. These are life-changing, destiny-altering, miracle-working blessings that will touch every single area of your existence. Your finances, your health, your relationships, your peace of mind, your future, your family. Everything is about to experience a supernatural shift that you cannot create through your own efforts. Right now, in this very moment, as these words reach your ears and sink into your heart, there is a supernatural shift taking place in the spiritual realm that directly concerns you. Invisible to your natural eyes, but absolutely real in the spirit world, things are moving, changing, rearranging themselves in your favor. The enemy tried to build walls around your blessings, but those walls are crumbling. The obstacles that seemed permanent are dissolving. The doors that were locked are now being thrown wide open. There is an angel standing near you right now. This is not poetry or symbolic language meant to make you feel good. This is spiritual reality, as real as the ground beneath your feet. Archangel Michael, one of the most powerful warriors in all of heaven's armies, has been assigned specifically and personally to you. His wings, which span wider than you can imagine, are spread protectively over your home, over your family, over your finances, over your health, over your future. He stands as a mighty guardian at your door, and his sword, flaming with holy fire, is drawn against every single force that has tried to steal from you, harm you, or block what rightfully belongs to you. The demons that whispered lies into your mind, telling you that nothing would ever change, that your situation was permanent, that you were forgotten by God, they are now trembling because they know their time of tormenting you has come to an end. Heaven has just overruled every single attack that was launched against you. What the enemy delayed through confusion and distraction, God has now released with perfect timing. What was blocked by fear and doubt is now flowing freely. What was bound by past mistakes and regrets is now breaking loose with supernatural power. You need to understand something profound and life-changing about this very moment you're living in. The miracle that's coming toward you is not something that might happen someday if all the conditions align perfectly. It's not dependent on whether you're good enough, whether you've prayed enough, whether you've been to church enough, or whether you're worthy enough. This miracle has already been signed by God's hand, sealed with His authority, and dispatched from heaven's throne room with your name written on it. Angels are carrying this miracle to your exact location right now. They know your address. They know where you live. They know where you work. They know where you spend your time, and nothing in the natural realm or the spiritual realm can intercept this miracle, delay it any longer, or turn it back before it reaches you. Your bank account is about to experience a sudden, completely unexplainable increase. Money you weren't expecting will appear from sources you never anticipated. Opportunities you never even applied for will open up before you like flowers blooming in spring. People you've never met, whose names you don't even know yet, will feel supernaturally drawn to bless you financially without understanding why. This isn't about working harder at your job or getting lucky with some investment. This is about heaven's economy, which operates on completely different principles than Earth's economy, invading your natural circumstances. The God who owns cattle on 1,000 hills, who holds the wealth of nations in his hands, who owns the gold and silver of the entire earth, has decided that overflow, abundance, and financial freedom belong in your life right now in this season. Your physical body is receiving healing even as you listen to these words and allow them to penetrate your spirit. That pain you've been carrying for months or years, that sickness that's been lingering and refusing to leave, that condition the doctors couldn't fully explain or effectively treat, heaven is touching it right now with supernatural healing power. Divine healing energy is flowing through your bloodstream at this very moment, restoring what was damaged, renewing what was weakened, bringing vibrant life where there was decline and decay. You might feel warmth spreading through your body. You might feel tingling in areas that were numb or dead. You might simply feel peace washing over you like waves. But whether you feel something physical right now or not, know this with absolute certainty: something is happening inside your body at the cellular level that medical science cannot explain, measure, or reproduce. Your home is being covered with supernatural protection right now. Every person who lives under your roof, every child who calls your house their home, every family member connected to your bloodline is being surrounded by angelic guards in this moment. The accidents that evil forces were planning will not happen because angels will intervene. The sicknesses that were targeting your family will find no entry point because your home is sealed by God's protection. The arguments and division that the enemy tried to plant in your relationships are being dissolved by heaven's peace flowing like oil over troubled waters. But here's what makes this miracle deeply personal and incredibly special. It is uniquely designed specifically for you, custom made to fit your exact situation. God doesn't give generic blessings that could apply to anyone. He doesn't operate an assembly line in heaven where everyone gets the same package. No, he crafts specific miracles that fit your exact situation, your precise needs, your particular struggles, your individual circumstances. When this blessing manifests visibly in your life, and it will manifest soon, you will recognize it immediately. You won't have to wonder if it's from God or just coincidence. You'll know beyond any shadow of doubt that this came directly from heaven's throne room, that this was divinely orchestrated across time and space, that this could only be the hand of God moving in your life. Some people around you won't understand what's happening to you. They'll see the dramatic changes in your life and be genuinely confused, maybe even jealous. They'll ask with curiosity or suspicion how you suddenly got that opportunity that seemed impossible, how you received that breakthrough that shouldn't have happened, how you found that perfect solution to a problem that had no answer. And the only response you'll be able to give, the only explanation that will be truthful, is this simple statement: "The Lord made a way where there was no way." You won't be able to take credit for it because you'll know in your heart that you didn't manufacture it through clever planning. You didn't manipulate circumstances. You didn't know the right people. This is pure grace, unmerited favor. Heaven's goodness poured out abundantly on your life simply because God chose to bless you. The door that's opening for you right now, in this season, in this moment, cannot be shut by any human being on earth. It's not being opened by your connections, by your credentials, by your resume, or by coincidence. God Himself is pushing this door wide open with His own hands, and when the Creator of the universe opens a door, when the one who spoke worlds into existence decides to create an opportunity for you, no force in all of existence can slam it closed. Fear tried to lock that door with chains of anxiety. Guilt tried to block it with walls of shame. Past mistakes tried to seal it shut with concrete made of regret. But God's hand is stronger than all of that combined. His power demolishes every obstacle. His authority overrides every lock. His will supersedes every barrier. Your struggle is ending right now. I need you to hear that statement clearly and let it sink deep into your spirit. The long, exhausting season of barely making it, of constant stress that kept you awake at night, of wondering if things would ever change or if this was just your permanent reality, that season is coming to a close. You've been in survival mode for so long, fighting just to get through each day, that you've almost forgotten what it feels like to thrive, to rest, to breathe easily without a weight on your chest. But those days of peace and abundance are returning to you now, and they're coming with such force, such momentum, such supernatural speed that you'll barely recognize your own life when you look at it a few months from now. The transformation will be so complete that you'll wonder if you're living in a dream. This isn't just about getting through another difficult day or solving one isolated problem. God is answering every single thing that has kept you awake at night, staring at the ceiling, feeling anxious and worried. That financial worry that makes your chest tight and your breathing shallow, it's being answered. That relationship that feels broken beyond any hope of repair, it's being restored with supernatural grace. That health concern that fills you with anxiety every time you think about it, it's being healed by heaven's touch. That situation with your children that breaks your heart into 1,000 pieces, it's being turned around by God's intervention. God doesn't do halfway miracles. He doesn't solve part of your problems and leave the rest for you to figure out. When He moves in power, He moves completely and thoroughly. When He heals totally. When He provides abundantly. When He opens doors, He opens them wide. Everything that was stolen from you through betrayal, through injustice, through evil people's schemes, is being returned to you now, and it's being returned with increase attached to it. The years that felt completely wasted when you were going in circles getting nowhere are being redeemed with supernatural acceleration. The opportunities you missed because of bad timing or bad advice are being replaced with better ones that fit you perfectly. The relationships that ended painfully, leaving scars on your heart, are being restored with health and love, or replaced with connections that are so much better for you. The money that was lost, stolen, or wasted is coming back into your hands multiplied many times over. This is not just restoration, putting things back the way they were before. This is divine compensation for everything you suffered, everything you endured, everything you survived when you thought you wouldn't make it through. There is a brand new chapter opening in your life that looks nothing like the painful chapters you've already walked through. Those pages are turned. Those seasons are finished. Stop expecting the next season to feel like the last one. Stop bracing yourself for more disappointment, more pain, more struggle, more loss. That was then, this is now. What's coming is so different, so much better, so completely transformed that you'll wonder if you're living the same life or if you've stepped into someone else's story. Your prayers, even the ones you prayed through tears when you could barely speak, have moved heaven. Never underestimate the power of your faith, even when it felt small as a mustard seed, even when it wavered in moments of doubt, even when you prayed through tears and confusion, not knowing if God was listening. Every single prayer you whispered in secret, Every cry you released in the midnight hour when you couldn't sleep, every desperate plea you lifted to heaven when you were at the end of yourself, they all reached God's ears. Not one was ignored, not one was forgotten, not one fell to the ground unheard. And now, in this appointed moment that was marked on heaven's calendar before time began, heaven is responding with supernatural power that will leave you speechless. The angel assigned to you has been watching the enemy's schemes very carefully. He has seen every trap that was set for your destruction, every attack that was planned against your peace, every scheme that was designed to keep you in bondage. And now, with perfect timing, he is executing God's counter-strategy. Every plan the enemy made against you is being reversed and turned back on him. Every curse that was spoken over your life or your family is being broken into pieces that can never be reassembled. Every spiritual door that gave darkness access to your mind, your emotions, or your circumstances is being sealed shut permanently by angelic forces. You are covered by divine order right now. That means chaos cannot reign in your life anymore. It might try to create disturbances around you, but it cannot dominate your inner world. Confusion cannot control your mind any longer. It might whisper lies, but you'll recognize them as lies and reject them. Fear cannot dictate your decisions from this day forward. It might show up, but it won't have the power to paralyze you anymore. You are being brought into a place of spiritual clarity, mental peace, and emotional stability that you haven't experienced in years, maybe never in your entire life. Your thoughts will become clearer. Your emotions will become steadier. Your decisions will become wiser. Your sleep will become deeper. Your energy will become stronger. Here's what I need you to do right now, and this is critically important for receiving what heaven is releasing. Open your heart completely, throw the doors wide open, and receive what heaven is pouring out over you. Don't let doubt, that sneaky thief, talk you out of this miracle before it fully manifests. Don't let past disappointments, those old wounds that still ache sometimes, make you skeptical or cynical about this moment. Don't let fear, that ancient enemy of faith, convince you that nothing will really change this time. Your spirit already knows this is real. You can feel it deep inside, can't you? That stirring in your soul, that hope rising up, that sense that something is different this time, that this is not just another motivational message, but a genuine word from heaven. Trust that inner knowing. Your spirit recognizes truth when it hears it. This is your appointed hour. Not last year when you thought it should happen, not next month when you think you'll be more ready. Right now, this moment, this day. This is when everything shifts from what it was to what it's meant to be. The long season of waiting is over. The delay has ended. The door is standing open. The blessing is released and traveling toward you. The miracle has your name written on it in heaven's permanent ink, and it's arriving at your address with God's personal guarantee attached to it. Your hands are going to hold what your prayers declared in faith. Your mouth is going to testify about what your faith believed even when circumstances said otherwise. Your life is going to reflect what your spirit carried even through the darkest seasons when you felt like giving up. People are going to look at you with their own eyes and see undeniable evidence that God still performs miracles in modern times, that heaven still intervenes in human affairs, that prayers still get answered when they're prayed in faith. This is not just another ordinary day in your life that will be forgotten tomorrow. This is the turning point, the pivot, the hinge that everything swings on. This is the moment you'll look back on months and years from now and say with absolute certainty, that's when everything changed. That's when my life took a completely different direction. That's when heaven touched earth in my personal story. Walk forward from this moment with boldness, not arrogance, but holy confidence that God is with you. Leave with expectation, not anxiety, but joyful anticipation of good things coming, Trust completely not in your own abilities or resources, but in God's faithfulness to keep His promises, because the Lord your God has spoken over your life with words that carry creative power, and when He speaks, nothing can stop it, nothing can reverse it, nothing can delay it, and nothing can diminish it. You are not here listening to these words by accident or random chance. You were chosen with deliberate intention, selected with specific purpose, marked with destiny that reaches far beyond what your natural eyes can see or your natural mind can comprehend. In a world full of noise and crowds, where it's easy to feel invisible, where billions of people can make one person feel insignificant, you might sometimes feel lost in the shuffle, forgotten in the masses, overlooked in the crowd. But heaven doesn't see crowds as a faceless mass. Heaven sees individuals with unique identities, specific purposes, and personal stories. And you are seen completely by God's eyes, known deeply by His heart, and loved endlessly by His nature. Before you took your first breath in this world, before your parents knew your name or your gender, before you had any idea who you would become or what path your life would take, God's eyes were already on you, watching you with love. He has been watching your entire journey with tender care, celebrating your victories when you succeeded, and weeping with you through your pain when you suffered. When everyone else walked away and left you standing alone in your darkest hour, when fair weather friends disappeared and family members turned their backs, God stayed right beside you. He never moved, He never flinched, He never wavered. When your heart shattered into what felt like a million pieces and you cried in silence because no one would understand the depth of your pain, God was there collecting every single tear in His bottle, treasuring each one. Even in moments when you questioned your own worth, when you looked in the mirror and felt disappointed with what you saw, when you wondered if you mattered at all in the grand scheme of things, God was whispering truth into the depths of your soul. You may not have heard His voice clearly then, because pain has a way of drowning out heaven's gentle whispers, creating so much noise in our minds that we can't hear what God is saying. But His voice never stopped speaking words of love, affirmation, and destiny over you. He never stopped calling you back to the peace that only His presence can provide, peace that transcends understanding and circumstances. There are blessings that have been prepared specifically and exclusively for you, custom designed to fit your life perfectly, and they are sealed with your name written in heaven's permanent record. Angels are guarding these blessings with flaming swords. No thief can steal them through deception. No enemy can sabotage them through warfare. No person can claim them through manipulation, because they belong to you and you alone by divine decree. They were designed to fit your life like a key fits a specific lock, to meet your needs with perfect precision, to fulfill your destiny with exact timing. The road you've walked hasn't been easy. You know the truth better than anyone else possibly could. There have been moments when you honestly didn't think you'd make it through to see another day. Days when getting out of bed felt like climbing a mountain with weights tied to your ankles. Seasons when you forced a smile to show the world while dying inside where no one could see. But every trial you faced, every difficulty you endured, every impossibility you survived when survival seemed impossible, they were all bringing you closer to the place God designed for you before you were born. Every setback that looked like failure was actually a setup for something greater than you imagined. What looked like a closed door slamming in your face was actually God protecting you from a path that would have harmed you or derailed your destiny. What felt like cruel rejection was actually divine redirection towards something better. What seemed like devastating failure was actually preparation for coming promotion. Nothing in your life has been wasted, not one experience, not one tear, not one struggle. Every single experience, even the most painful ones that you wish you could erase from your memory, has been shaping you, strengthening you, preparing you for what's coming next in your story. I know how long you've waited with patience wearing thin. I know how many prayers you've prayed until your voice was hoarse and your knees were sore. I know how many times you've looked up at heaven with questions in your heart and asked, God, do you still hear me? Am I forgotten? Have you moved on to help someone else? Do you still care about my situation? And the answer today, right now in this moment, is a thundering, earth-shaking, undeniable yes that echoes from heaven's throne. Yes, God has heard every single word you've spoken in prayer. Yes, He has seen every silent cry that came from your heart when you had no words. Yes, He has never stopped working behind the scenes for your good, orchestrating events and arranging circumstances even when it felt like nothing was moving or changing. Let this moment settle into your spirit like an anchor sinking to the ocean floor, giving you stability no matter what waves crash around you. You are not walking through life alone, stumbling in darkness without a guide. You are never alone, not for a single second of any day. God surrounds you with His presence like the air you breathe. He protects you from harm you never see coming. He guides you with His hand even when the path ahead looks dark and uncertain. You've survived things that should have destroyed you completely. Situations that would have broken most people into pieces only made you stronger like gold refined in fire. And that's because heaven has been holding you up, supporting you, strengthening you when you didn't even realize it, when you thought you were doing it all on your own strength. Now, God is taking you from mere survival into genuine abundance, from barely making it day by day to overflowing with blessings in every area, from empty to full, from broken to whole, from weary to refreshed. This shift is already happening in the spiritual realm, and it's about to manifest in the natural realm where you can see it with your eyes. You're stepping into a season where doors that were locked tight will swing open effortlessly. Not because you pushed harder with your own strength, but because God is pushing them open for you with His mighty hand. You're entering a chapter where peace will silence the storms raging in your mind, where joy will replace the mourning you've carried like a heavy coat, where hope will bloom in places that felt dead and barren. God is sending restoration where you once saw only loss and devastation. He's filling empty places in your life with overflow that spills out and touches others. You won't have to beg for what's rightfully yours. You won't have to manipulate circumstances or force things to happen through scheming. The blessings coming your way have already been spoken into existence by God Himself, and what God speaks cannot be unspoken. What other people tried to block through jealousy or hatred, God has already approved in heaven's courts. What was delayed in previous seasons because the timing wasn't right is now being released with perfect timing. What was lost, stolen, or taken from you unjustly is being returned to your hands, multiplied many times over, with interest added. Your name has been spoken in heaven's courts, and it wasn't spoken in judgment or condemnation, but in blessing and favor. Angels have literally been dispatched from the throne room, sent on assignment with your name on their mission orders. Right now, as you're listening to these words and your heart is responding, supernatural beings are moving on your behalf in ways you cannot see but will soon experience. The miracle you've been praying for, crying for, hoping for, is no longer a distant dream somewhere in the future. It's approaching rapidly like a train coming down the track. And when it arrives at your station, no enemy will be able to steal it through deception. No doubt will be able to cancel it through unbelief. No fear will be able to delay it through anxiety. It's already in motion, already on its way, already guaranteed by heaven's unchangeable promise. Stay rooted deeply in God during this season of transition. The winds may blow around you with force. Circumstances may look chaotic and unstable. But you are anchored in a love that cannot fail under any circumstances, a strength that cannot be shaken by any storm, a promise that cannot be broken by any power. God has chosen you for such a time as this, for this specific moment in human history. Not just to receive blessings for yourself and enjoy them selfishly, but to become a blessing to others who are struggling. The breakthrough He's giving you will overflow into every person connected to your life like rivers of living water. Even people who once mocked your faith and called you foolish for believing in God will see His power demonstrated in your story. They'll witness with their own eyes how He took you from brokenness into beauty, from weariness into strength, from the pit of despair into the palace of purpose. God isn't just healing your heart from past wounds. He's rewriting your entire legacy for generations to come. He's restoring what the enemy tried to destroy permanently. He's taking what was meant for evil and turning it into something beautiful and good. Every delay you faced was not God saying no to your prayers. It was God preparing you for a yes so big, so overwhelming, so abundant that you needed to be strengthened first to carry it without being destroyed by it. He was stretching your faith like elastic, not punishing you with suffering. He was building your character like a builder constructs a foundation, not forgetting your prayers and requests. He was increasing your capacity to receive and steward blessings, not ignoring your cries for help. And now the moment of revealing is here at your doorstep. What was hidden in preparation is now ready to shine in manifestation. What was buried under pain like a seed in dark soil is about to bloom with purpose and beauty. The time has come for you to walk in the fulfillment of promises spoken long ago. Things God whispered to your spirit in secret moments, dreams He planted in your heart when you were young and full of hope. Visions you almost gave up on because they seemed impossible in your circumstances. They're all about to manifest in ways that will leave you in absolute awe of God's goodness. This season will bring clarity where there was confusion clouding your mind, wholeness where there was brokenness fragmenting your soul, light where there was darkness obscuring your path. It will bring laughter back into your home after seasons of tears, peace into your sleep after nights of restlessness, joy into the very core of your being after years of heaviness. What you lost in one season will be returned in this season with interest and increase attached. Relationships that were broken beyond repair will be healed through supernatural grace, or replaced with better connections that are healthier for you. Wounds that went deep into your soul will be closed completely by heaven's healing touch. Hope that was fading like a dying ember will be rekindled into a blazing fire that burns bright. You are not moving backward, even though it sometimes felt that way. Even when it felt like you were stuck in quicksand or losing ground, God was actually propelling you forward into your divine destiny with perfect timing. Let no one convince you that you're too late to fulfill your purpose, too broken to be used by God, or too far behind to catch up. God doesn't measure success the way humans do with their limited perspective. He doesn't look at your age and see someone past their prime. He doesn't look at your past and see someone too stained to be cleaned. He doesn't look at your mistakes and see someone beyond redemption. He doesn't look at your timing and see someone who missed their window of opportunity. God measures by surrender, by faith, by the purity of your heart's intentions. And you, beloved child, have not missed your moment. Your moment is beginning right now in this season. Listen, I want you to do something important right now as an act of faith. Subscribe to this channel. Don't just think about it and scroll past. Actually do it right now. Press that subscribe button. This is more than just clicking a button on a screen. This is you making a declaration of faith, agreeing with what heaven is releasing over your life, partnering with the supernatural realm. When you subscribe, you're saying with action, not just words, "Yes, God, I receive what you're doing. Yes, I believe your promises are true." Yes, I'm ready for the miracles you're releasing. Go ahead and subscribe right now, and let's continue this powerful journey together. Now lift your eyes from what was lost in the past and focus with laser attention on what is coming in the future. The blessings ahead are not small or insignificant trickles. They are pressed down, shaken together, and running over the edges like Jesus described. What you thought was the end of your story was only a pause before a divine continuation, a comma, not a period. You're about to witness the beauty of God's perfect orchestration in ways that will take your breath away and leave you speechless. God is raising your voice to be heard in places where you were once silenced and ignored. He's placing your name before people who have the power to bless you, favor you, and unlock new paths you never imagined walking. Not because you earned it through hard work or clever networking, but simply because God chose you out of His grace. His favor has always gone ahead of you like a scout, preparing the way, opening doors before you arrive, softening hearts before you speak, arranging circumstances before you take action. So stand tall today with your head held high. Don't look down in shame over your past mistakes and failures. The stains of everything you've been through, every sin, every failure, every mistake have been washed completely clean by God's mercy that flows like a river. The shame that others tried to place on you like a heavy cloak holds absolutely no power in God's presence. He's not looking backward at where you've been with disappointment. He's focused completely forward on where He's taking you with excitement. You're entering a place of divine confidence now, not arrogance or pride that looks down on others, but a quiet, steady knowing deep in your spirit that God is with you, and that's all that matters in the end. You will speak with boldness instead of fear paralyzing your tongue. You will move with wisdom instead of confusion clouding your judgment. You will rest in God's promises instead of striving constantly in your own strength. You will flourish and thrive like a tree planted by streams of water, not just barely survive another day. What once drained your energy and left you exhausted will now fuel you with passion and purpose. What once hurt you deeply and left scars will now heal you completely. What once tested you severely and almost broke you will now testify for you powerfully and bring God glory. Everything is shifting in your favor right now. This is not coincidence or random luck. This is God's hand moving deliberately and intentionally in your life with purpose. You'll know this is God and not just life getting better, because the peace you feel will surpass all human understanding and logic. It won't make sense based on your circumstances, which might still look challenging. But you'll feel calm in the middle of the storm, steady in the center of the chaos, confident in the midst of the waiting. That supernatural peace that passes understanding is the signature of God's presence, His calling card. God isn't just opening doors for you like a doorman. He's rebuilding what you thought could never be restored, what looked permanently destroyed. What once felt completely impossible will now become undeniably real in your experience. You're walking into divine acceleration where things will begin to unfold faster than you ever imagined possible, where months of progress happen in weeks. The long season of patient waiting is ending. The windows of heaven are opening directly above your life like floodgates. This transformation isn't temporary or fleeting, just a brief good season before more struggle. God isn't giving you a blessing for a moment that will fade quickly. He's establishing you permanently, rooting you deeply in His presence so nothing can shake what He plants in your life. The winds may blow hard around you with force, storms may rage, but you will not break or be uprooted. You're standing on the rock that never crumbles under pressure, the foundation that never fails no matter what. You won't even recognize yourself when you look in the mirror of your future. God is changing your very countenance, the way you carry yourself, the light in your eyes, the expression on your face. Where there was weariness and exhaustion etched into your features, There will be strength and vitality radiating. Where there was fear clouding your eyes, there will be peace shining through. Where there was shame bowing your head, there will be glory lifting it high. And through you, through your transformed life and powerful testimony, others will come to believe that God still moves mountains that seem immovable, that miracles still happen in modern times, that heaven still intervenes in human affairs when people pray in faith. My dear child, the opportunities that are flowing toward your life right now are not heavy burdens designed to weigh you down or exhaust you. They are blessings wrapped carefully in divine purpose, gifts from heaven that come with grace attached to carry them. You will not have to chase after these opportunities desperately like you've had to chase things in the past. You won't have to knock on doors begging to be let in. You won't have to prove yourself worthy or fight for recognition. These opportunities are being sent directly to you by God's divine instruction, dispatched from heaven with your name and address written clearly on them. All God asks from you is that you remain available to receive what He's sending and obedient to follow where He's leading. Your part is simple: stay open, stay listening, stay willing. God's part is everything else: the planning, the provision, the perfect timing, the supernatural arrangements. As you walk forward in this season, peace is filling the spaces in your heart that were once occupied by fear. Those dark corners where anxiety lived, where worry made its home, where terror whispered lies in the night. They're being flooded with supernatural peace that passes all understanding. Many people around you are going to begin noticing something different about you. A glow that wasn't there before, a light shining from within. But here's what's beautiful: this glow, this radiance, this light won't be coming from external success or worldly achievements. It won't be because you got the promotion, won the lottery, or achieved some impressive goal. This glow will be coming from one source alone: God's presence dwelling richly within you. You will carry an atmosphere of peace wherever you go, like a fragrance that follows you. People will feel calmer just being near you. You will speak with a tone of love that melts hardened hearts. You will demonstrate grace in difficult situations that words cannot fully explain. People will ask you directly, "What changed? What happened to you? Why are you different?" And you will smile knowingly, understanding that it was God all along. It was never your effort. It was always His presence transforming you from the inside out. God has been doing something else behind the scenes that you don't fully realize yet. He has been softening the hearts of people who hurt you in the past, people who rejected you, betrayed you, wounded you deeply. Some of these people will return to your life, but this time they won't be coming to harm you again or cause more pain. They'll be coming to honor what they once rejected, to apologize for what they once destroyed, to value what they once threw away. When they return, and some of them will, forgive them freely with the same grace God has shown you. Release the bitterness, let go of the resentment, choose love over revenge. But also stay wise, stay discerning. Forgiveness doesn't mean foolishness. You don't have to reopen every door that was closed just to show compassion or prove you're a good person. You can forgive someone completely while still maintaining healthy boundaries. Let God's wisdom guide your steps in these situations. Let His discernment protect your peace. Not everyone who apologizes has truly changed. Not everyone who returns belongs in your future. Ask God for clarity about each situation, and He will show you what to do. This is a sacred moment you're living in right now. Do not rush through it like you're late for an appointment. Do not compare your journey to someone else's highlight reel on social media. Just receive what God is giving you with open hands and a grateful heart. God is healing what no human eye could see, touching places deep within you that no human hand could reach, restoring joy that had been silent for years, placing beauty where there was once only pain and ashes. You will see this transformation unfold with your own eyes gradually. At first, the changes will be subtle, small shifts that you almost don't notice. Then suddenly, all at once, like the first rays of dawn breaking through darkness and lighting up everything in an instant, your life will shine with clarity, purpose, and quiet strength that cannot be shaken. You are rising from the ashes, and nothing will stop what God has set in motion for you. The healing God is bringing into your life is not surface level, not a temporary band-aid covering a wound that's still infected underneath. This healing goes deep into the roots of what hurt you, into the silent spaces where no one else could see your pain, where you suffered alone without witnesses. God is restoring your laughter that was stolen by grief. He's restoring your courage that was crushed by betrayal. He's restoring your ability to dream without fear of disappointment crushing those dreams again. You will no longer flinch when blessings come near you. You won't sabotage good things because you're waiting for the other shoe to drop. You won't push away love because you're afraid of getting hurt again. This is your divine recovery season, a time when heaven is focused on restoring everything that was taken from you unjustly. Not only are you recovering what you lost, the things that were stolen, but you're gaining things you never even knew you needed, blessings you never thought to ask for, gifts you didn't know existed. What once drained your energy like a vampire sucking life from you will no longer have access to your peace. What once distracted you from your purpose will no longer cloud your mind with confusion. You will move forward with clear focus like a laser beam and deep peace like a still lake. God is aligning every single piece of your life for something greater than you can imagine right now. You may not see the full picture yet because you're too close to the canvas, but God assures you that every step you took, every moment you endured, every painful lesson you learned has been divinely connected like puzzle pieces forming a beautiful image. You are not behind schedule despite what the enemy whispers to you. You are not late to your destiny despite what comparison tells you. You are right on schedule for what God has designed just for you, for your unique purpose that no one else can fulfill. You will no longer just survive the seasons of life, barely making it through each day. You will thrive in them, flourishing like a tree planted by streams of water. God's Spirit is strengthening your inner resolve right now, building up your backbone. You will speak with clarity that cuts through confusion. You will walk in purpose that gives your life meaning. You will no longer feel the need to shrink yourself, to make yourself smaller, to dim your light just to make others comfortable with their own darkness. You were made to carry light into dark places, not to hide that light under a basket. God doesn't need you to fight desperately for attention from people who don't value you, or recognition from crowds who don't understand you, or approval from systems that were never designed to celebrate you. You have already been marked by heaven itself. God has approved you with His seal. He has called you by name. He has equipped you with everything you need. And now He is releasing you into a season where everything He placed inside you will finally come alive and bear fruit. Even your quiet obedience when no one was watching has planted seeds that are about to break through the soil into sunlight. Things you did in secret, choosing kindness when cruelty would have been easier. Those moments you kept faith when everyone around you lost theirs and no one was watching to applaud you. They are all returning to you now as a harvest. God does not forget the faithful. He keeps perfect records. God is not just blessing you individually as a lone person. He is blessing your entire house, your family, your bloodline. The ones you've prayed for desperately, worried about constantly, cried over in the midnight hours. God has heard every single word you spoke on their behalf. He will bring healing to your home that seemed too broken to fix. He will protect your family from attacks you don't see coming. He will restore relationships that felt too damaged to repair, too far gone to save. Nothing is beyond God's ability to repair and restore. Nothing is too broken for his healing touch. Nothing is too dead for his resurrection power. This is more than temporary favor that comes and goes. This is covenant, a divine promise that God will not break under any circumstances. And when you walk in this covenant reality, mountains that seemed immovable move out of your way, doors that were locked swing open, chains that bound you fall off, and miracles unfold naturally. Walk boldly through your days knowing that God is with you every single step. No power of darkness can stand against you when you're walking with the Creator. No weapon formed against you will prosper. No curse spoken over you will take root. No plan designed to destroy you will succeed. There is a stillness God is bringing into your spirit that the chaos of this world cannot disturb. Even when everything around you seems chaotic and out of control, when circumstances are swirling like a tornado, God's peace will rest on your heart like a warm blanket on a cold night. This is not a false calm that disappears when trouble comes. This peace is rooted deeply in God Himself, unshakable by circumstances, unmovable by opinions, eternal in nature. You will breathe easier without the tightness in your chest. You will rest deeper without tossing and turning all night. You will live freer without the heavy chains of anxiety. You will no longer feel like you are walking on unstable ground that could collapse at any moment. God is placing your feet firmly upon solid rock, the foundation that never shifts or cracks. He is establishing you in truth, not in the changing opinions of others, not in the noise and confusion of the world, but in His word that never fails or changes. From this solid foundation, everything in your life will begin to grow strong and secure like a house built on rock instead of sand. This time, the blessings God gives you will not slip through your hands like water. You will not lose what He gives you through carelessness or enemy attack. It will be protected by heaven's guard, preserved by God's power, and multiplied through your faithful stewardship because you've learned how to trust Him completely. You've allowed God to break what needed breaking in your life, those destructive patterns and toxic relationships, so He could build what will last eternally. God sees how far you've come on this journey. You didn't quit when quitting would have been easier. You didn't run away when running was tempting. Even in confusion when nothing made sense, you stayed faithful. Even in weakness when you had no strength left, you whispered God's name. And that was enough. That simple faith was enough, because God was never asking for perfection from you. He wasn't demanding flawless performance. He was asking for your heart, and you gave it willingly. The prayers you thought were delayed or ignored were actually gathering power in the spiritual realm. They were accumulating like interest in a bank account. They are returning to you now with multiplied force, with compound interest attached. God does not let His children labor in prayer without results. Every prayer is heard, recorded, and answered in perfect timing. You will see the fruit of every spiritual seed you planted in faith. You will see the answers appear at the exact moment God has prepared for them, not a second too early or too late. Some people will say your breakthrough happened suddenly, that you got lucky overnight. But you will know the truth. It was never sudden. It was sacred. It was God weaving intricate details together while you waited patiently, building the blessing while you worshipped faithfully, shaping the answer while you trusted completely. God will confirm His word to you with signs that are unmistakable. You will begin to notice little things aligning perfectly. People reaching out to you unexpectedly with exactly what you need. Opportunities showing up seemingly out of nowhere at just the right time. Strength returning to your body when you were exhausted. Hope rising in your chest when you were discouraged. These are not random coincidences or lucky breaks. They are divine confirmations, heaven's way of saying, I am here, I am moving, I am faithful. Do not brush these signs off as nothing. Do not second guess them with doubt. They are evidence that God is near you, that He is moving on your behalf, and that He is faithful to fulfill what He promised. The shift in your life has already started in the spiritual realm. What's coming next into the natural realm will silence the lies that said it would never happen for you. You don't have to figure everything out with your limited understanding. That pressure you place on yourself to have all the answers is not from God. It's from the enemy trying to overwhelm you. God never asked you to carry the crushing weight of tomorrow's problems today. He simply asked you to trust Him today, this moment, this hour. When you let go of needing all the answers right now, when you release that controlling grip, you make space for God's peace to settle in your heart like a dove landing. You were not created to live in constant fear of the unknown future. You were created to walk hand in hand with the one who knows everything, who holds the future in His hands. When your thoughts start to spiral downward into anxiety, pause, stop, breathe deeply. Remember that God is in complete control. He sees what's ahead on the road you cannot see, and it is good. You are not behind where you should be. You are not late to your destiny. You are right where you need to be for what God is about to release into your life. The timeline of other people, their accomplishments and successes, does not define your worth or measure your value. God wrote your story on a different schedule because your purpose is unique, unlike anyone else's purpose on earth. Trust the process God has set in motion specifically for you. The next chapter of your life will not look like the last chapter. God is rewriting your rhythm, changing your pace. You will not feel rushed or pressured. You will not feel left out or left behind. You will walk in peace that surpasses understanding. You will rest in grace that covers all your imperfections. You will rise each day with a quiet strength growing inside you, knowing that God is orchestrating everything for your good, working all things together for your benefit. God has heard every whisper of worry that escaped your lips. He has seen the anxious thoughts you didn't speak out loud, the fears that kept you up at night. And He has already sent answers wrapped in unexpected forms that might not look like what you expected. You may not recognize these answers at first when they arrive. They might come through casual conversations that contain exactly what you need to hear, through unexpected opportunities that seem too good to be true, through quiet moments of revelation when truth suddenly becomes clear. When they arrive in your life, your heart will know deep down. God's Spirit will confirm it within you with peace. You don't need to overthink every little thing or analyze it to death. Just remain open and receptive. The answers coming your way are not designed to confuse you or trick you. They are coming to complete what God started in your life. God doesn't begin a good work in someone's life and then leave it undone and unfinished. God knows you've been tired, physically and emotionally exhausted. He knows the waiting has been heavy, like carrying a boulder on your shoulders. But He wants you to know something important. He is so proud of you. Proud of how you've kept going when others would have quit. Proud of how you've stayed soft and tender when you had every reason to become hard and bitter. Proud of how you've loved through the pain instead of shutting down. Proud of how you believed through the silence when you couldn't hear His voice. You've walked with God even when you didn't feel His presence. That kind of faith, that blind trust, is precious and valuable to God. And now it's your time to receive what you've been waiting for. The shift in your circumstances is here. The release of blessings is happening right now. Not next year when conditions are perfect. Not someday in the distant future. Now, in this season, in this moment, what God is about to pour into your life will be undeniable evidence that He was working behind the scenes even when you couldn't see any movement. Get ready in your spirit because glory is entering your story. God's manifest presence is about to show up in ways you can see and touch. God is placing new strength in your spirit right now. Not the kind of temporary strength that runs out when life gets hard and circumstances turn difficult, but supernatural strength that actually rises higher in the face of storms. You will not be shaken like you were before when trouble came. You will not be moved easily by other people's opinions or overwhelmed by uncertainty about the future. God is grounding you firmly in His presence, anchoring you to Himself. What once caused you paralyzing fear will no longer touch you with the same power. You have grown beyond the things that used to break you into pieces. You may still feel the pressure of difficult situations, but you won't collapse under it anymore. Because God has fortified your faith like steel, strengthened your heart to withstand attacks, and clothed you in His armor that protects every vulnerable area. You are surrounded completely by God's light. Even in places where it feels dark and scary, that divine light is still burning inside you. It will guide your steps when the path is unclear. It will protect you from deception, and it will reveal truth when lies come near trying to deceive you. This light is not from the world or natural sources. It is divine, supernatural, eternal light. It is God Himself within you and through you. Others will feel that light radiating from your life. Your words will carry healing to wounded hearts. Your presence will bring calm to chaotic situations. Not because you have all the answers to every question, but because you have God living inside you. And where God is, there is always freedom from bondage, always hope in hopeless situations, always a way forward when it seems like dead ends. You are a vessel of transformation that God will use to change lives. God is pouring wisdom into you that will bless more than just your own life. This wisdom will overflow and benefit many others. God is trusting you with influence and leadership because He sees your heart. He sees your humility that keeps you grounded. He sees how even when no one noticed or applauded, you stayed kind to difficult people. You stayed faithful to God's word. You stayed near God in prayer. Now God will begin to reward what you sowed in silence and secret. He will bring attention and recognition to what you carried with patient endurance. You will no longer feel invisible or overlooked. God's glory is rising upon you like the sun rising in the morning sky. Not to make you famous for your own glory, but to make His love visible through your transformed story. Yes, there will be favor, supernatural favor that opens doors, but there will also be responsibility that comes with that favor. As God elevates you to higher places, remain anchored in humility. As He expands your influence and territory, remain humble and teachable. As He blesses you abundantly, remain thankful and generous. These attitudes, humility and gratitude, are the keys that will preserve what God places in your hands. Because receiving blessings is one thing, but carrying them well is another. It's not just about receiving from God. It's about stewarding those blessings wisely, managing them well. There are places you'll go in your future that require a version of you that God has been carefully building through fire. The trials and difficulties weren't punishment from an angry God. They were preparation for promotion. You are ready now, ready for doors to open that were previously locked, ready for prayers to be answered that seemed delayed, ready for blessings to overflow beyond your capacity to contain them. There is a new anointing resting on your life in this season. You may not feel dramatically different yet in this moment, but soon you will see the evidence in how you respond to situations that once overwhelmed you completely. Peace will rise up inside you where panic once lived. Wisdom will speak clearly where confusion once echoed loudly. God's Spirit within you is awakening powerfully. You are not who you used to be. That old version is gone. You have grown spiritually. You have shifted in your perspective. You have been transformed by God's hand working in your life. What others saw as your breaking point when you thought you were finished was really your birthing place where something new was born. A new version of you was formed in that fire of testing. And now that fire that refined you will light the way for others who are walking through darkness. God is breathing fresh wind on your purpose right now. What seemed completely stagnant and stuck is now moving forward with momentum. What was dry and dead is now being watered by heaven's rain. The vision God gave you that you thought was lost or forgotten is coming alive again with renewed strength. And this time it won't slip away or be aborted. This time it will bloom fully and bear fruit because the roots have grown deeper during the waiting season. Don't be afraid when the pace of your life picks up suddenly. You prayed for movement and breakthrough, and now it's here. You asked God for signs that He was still working, and He is sending them. You longed for change in your circumstances, and God is shifting everything that no longer aligns with where He's taking you next. Let go of what's behind you in the past. Stop looking backward. Reach forward toward what's ahead. Everything you need for the journey is found in God. He is your source, your supply, your strength. God wants you to know something important. Do not be discouraged if not everyone understands what He's doing in your life right now. Some people were only assigned to walk with you in the previous chapter of your story, not the one God is unfolding now. Release them in love without bitterness. Bless them and let them go. Not everyone can walk with you into the new season God is bringing you into. God is surrounding you with the right people at the right time. People who speak life into you instead of death. People who carry truth instead of lies. People who honor what God has placed within you instead of trying to diminish it. These are divine connections orchestrated by heaven. They won't compete with you for position or glory. They will celebrate your victories genuinely. They won't drain your energy like vampires. They will refresh and encourage you. Through these God-ordained relationships, you will feel God's love even more deeply and tangibly. This is a season of divine realignment in every area of your life. Relationships are being shifted, some ending and others beginning. Assignments are being changed. Thoughts are being renewed. Even habits are being transformed. Let God do the pruning work in your life. Let Him clean the garden of your soul, pulling out weeds that choke your growth. So what grows in you now will be pure without contamination, strong without weakness, and lasting without decay. You don't have to force what's meant for you or manipulate circumstances to make things happen. When God sends something, it flows naturally. When God builds something, it lasts permanently. When God blesses something, no human being can block it or stop it. This is your time to walk in ease and grace, not without any effort required, but without exhausting striving in your own strength. You'll know something is from God because it will not exhaust your spirit or leave you depleted and empty. God has seen every unseen battle you faced alone. The moments when you smiled in public while dying inside but wept in secret when no one was around. God was there witnessing it all. The nights you lay awake replaying painful memories that broke your spirit. God sat beside you in that darkness. You never carried your pain alone, even though it felt like you did. Even in your silence when you couldn't find words, God heard every cry from your heart. You were never invisible to God even when people overlooked you. While others dismissed you as nothing special, God was preparing a crown of beauty from the ashes they ignored. He held your hand tenderly when no one else noticed your struggle or cared about your pain. And now God will lift you up before those who never imagined how deeply He was moving in your life behind the scenes. This promotion is not a reward for perfect performance. This is restoration for perseverance, for refusing to quit. Because you refused to give up, because you clung to God when it made no logical sense, God is opening the gates of favor over your life. What was locked tight will now be unlocked. What was missing from your life will now be restored. You've endured seasons that didn't make any sense to your mind. Now God will give you peace that won't need explanation to anyone. People will look at you with amazement and ask, "How did you survive that situation? How did you make it through?" And your answer will be simple and powerful. because God was with me every step. That answer will become your shield protecting you, your testimony inspiring others, and your invitation for others to believe again that God still moves. Even the parts of you that felt too broken to ever be healed are being touched by God's grace right now. God is restoring joy to your smile that was stolen. He's restoring warmth to your soul that grew cold. He's restoring wonder to your dreams that died. The part of you that feared hope and pushed it away will begin to welcome it again. The walls you built for protection will become windows for God's light to shine through. You are stepping into clarity. You will no longer second guess what God has placed in your spirit. The doubt that used to speak so loudly will grow quiet and weak. The fear that once ruled your decisions will lose its grip on your life. You are rising now, not in pride but in purpose, and you will rise gently without force. No need to rush ahead, no need to explain yourself to everyone. Let your fruit speak for itself. Let your peace show the transformation. Let your presence carry the fragrance of God's love. Those who once dismissed you will see the transformation and realize that God's hand was upon you all along. The season of proving yourself to people is over. You are already approved by heaven. You are already chosen by God. You are already anointed for what comes next in your journey. Walk in that truth daily. Rest in it completely. Let it become your foundation as you step into the final pages of this chapter and the beginning of something even greater. You no longer have to chase desperately what was never meant for you. God is clearing away every illusion, every false attachment that looked good but wasn't God's best, and every voice that made you feel less than who you truly are. This is your becoming. This is the unveiling of who God created you to be: bold, whole, steady, and full of light. The doors you used to knock on in desperation, begging to be let in, are now beneath you. You have outgrown that place of begging for love, for recognition, for security from people who couldn't give it. What God is sending now will not require you to lose yourself to be accepted. It will align with your truth, not strip it away. You will not have to pretend to be someone else to be loved. God is sending relationships, opportunities, and blessings that honor the real you, the authentic person God crafted with care and filled with eternal purpose. You are no longer seeking your identity in external things. You are stepping into the identity God gave you from the beginning. And as you walk in this newness, you will feel lighter in your spirit. Not because life is always easy without problems, but because you finally surrendered the weight you were never meant to carry in the first place. God is exchanging your burdens for His peace. He's trading your striving for His rest. He's replacing your fear with unshakable faith. Do not hold on tightly to what God has asked you to release. Some things serve their season and purpose, and must now be left behind. Don't fear the letting go. It is necessary for the rising to happen. God cannot fill hands that are already full of the wrong things. Release so God can place something better into your life. God knows about the things you hoped would last forever. He knows about the plans you made, but God's plans are greater and His ways are higher than human thinking. If you trust God through the pruning process, cutting away dead branches, you'll rejoice in the harvest season. What feels like painful loss today will make room for a miracle tomorrow. You are not walking in circles going nowhere. You are being led to breakthrough. Every lesson learned, every delay endured, every closed door you faced was part of the shaping process. And now the shaping is becoming revealing. The season of waiting is turning into the season of walking forward in victory. You are walking into fulfillment of promises, and you won't walk alone without help. God will be beside you in every step you take, every conversation you have, every decision you make. He will speak wisdom when you ask Him. He will guide your path when you pause to listen. He will defend your reputation when you're misunderstood, because you belong to God and He always stays near those who trust Him completely. My precious child, as we come to the end of this powerful message, I want you to feel the weight of heaven's promise settling over your life right now. Everything spoken here today is not just beautiful words floating in the air. These are divine declarations that carry the full authority and power of God Himself. What has been spoken over you cannot be unspoken. What has been released over you cannot be recalled. You are standing at the threshold of the greatest chapter of your life. Behind you are the ashes, the pain, the disappointment, the betrayal, the loss. But you're not looking back anymore. Your face is set forward toward the sunrise of new beginnings. God is doing something so new, so fresh, so completely transformative that your old vocabulary won't even be able to describe it adequately. The tears you've cried have watered the ground for this harvest. The prayers you've prayed have moved heaven's hand. The faith you've held onto when it would have been easier to let go has positioned you for miracles that will leave you speechless. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not too late. You are right on time for everything God has prepared. Walk forward with confidence, not in yourself, but in the God who goes before you. He is making your crooked paths straight. He is turning your mourning into dancing. He is giving you beauty for ashes. This is your season of overflow, of restoration, of supernatural breakthrough. Receive it with open hands, walk in it with bold faith, and watch as God does exceedingly, abundantly above all you could ask or imagine. Your best days are not behind you, they are ahead of you, and they are beginning right now in this very moment. This is your time, this is your season, and this is your divine destiny unfolding. Amen.